Hi, I'm Nathan East, and it's great to be talking with Pro Motion. Some of the musical collaborations that have stuck with me, and I'm reminded of actually on a daily basis. For instance, today I heard Easy Lover on the radio, and that was a collaboration with Phil Collins and Philip Bailey. Way back in the early 80s, we were in the studio, and we wrote that song together, and it was just great. It became a big hit around the world. Another collaboration that to this day I'm very happy with is the collaboration with my fellow bandmates in the group Foreplay. Bob James on piano, Chuck Loeb on guitar, and Harvey Mason on drums. Both Bob James and Chuck Loeb contributed songs to my new album, which came out great. I started working in clubs and with local bands around the San Diego area, and then I started to move toward the direction of LA and started recording with Barry White and doing some sessions with Patrice Rush and Hubert Laws. And so I think at that point, which is right around 1980, I felt like, yeah, I think I can consider myself a professional musician. So coming up with the bass line for Daft Punk's Get Lucky was, first of all, it was just an enjoyable experience to be in the studio with those guys. We recorded for about a week in LA, a batch of songs, most of which are on the album, and Get Lucky was among that batch. But in the time that we recorded that, and about 9 months later, they had gone to New York, put Nile Rodgers on the record. Pharrell came up with the lyrics and sang it. And they came back to LA and showed me the track, and it was so funky that I definitely thought that we needed to replace the bass part and just make it match that funk a little more. So what we did was we just turned the tape on, started rolling and hit play, and just started coming up with as many ideas as possible. I think I did about 5 or 6 kind of different versions, and I was very happy with the one they picked. Coming up with the lines for the Random Access Memories album was pretty much, it was all pretty much a big experiment. You know, we were in the studio every day, and there were some notes written on the page, but the idea for these guys was to get the players in the room and actually just, you know, kind of jam and get the feeling going to the point where we had, you know, sort of like a band feel, you know, and they were looking for a retro kind of sound and feel, so lots of retro instruments in the studio. It was really great. If you see any pictures from the sessions, you see all these old Roland keyboards, like years and years old, and I just thought it was great to kind of go back and recreate sort of an era of music that was very fertile. Daft Punk on my solo album is actually a little tribute, an ode to the guys in Daft Punk. It was fun to work with them, and this was a song that actually Michael Thompson sent me. He sent me his demo, and it was great. He was playing bass, and I fell in love with the song immediately, and we went in the studio and recorded the track, and the part that I wrote was the vocal part that is sung by Mr. Talkbox, just talking about celebrating, and wanted to just add a positive, uplifting message to the song. It really came out great. It's kind of like in the spirit of Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, a little bit of old school, a little bit new school, but Daft Punk came out pretty funky. Why did I decide it was time to finally release my own solo album? Well, I mean, there aren't very many firsts left after you've been in the business for 35 years. So this was something I hadn't done. I've been talking about doing it for a while, and it was a perfect opportunity. Summer of 2013, it just, the heavens opened up. No, actually, as fate would have it, I was able to get the band that I wanted, which included the late Ricky Lawson on drums, Jeff Babco, who only had about a week off in the year, and he chose to join us and record my album, so I'll be forever grateful to Jeff. Michael Thompson, again, we went in the studio with him every day. So the band, the core band, and Tim Carmen was Tim, Michael Thompson, Jeff Babco, and Ricky Lawson, and myself. And we had percussion, and we had Rafael Padilla join us. And then David Page came by for a few songs, and Ray Parker came and crashed the session and joined us. So how did the collaboration come about with the guests that I have on my album? Tell you what, I'm very fortunate, very blessed to have some great friends in this business. Friends like Stevie Wonder, Michael McDonald, who I've known for 30 years. Again, Bob James, Chuck Loeb, Sarah Bareilles. These are all, David Paich, Ray Parker Jr. These are all guys that are not only musical collaborators, but they're actually friends. I mean, we hang out. So I was able to call each and every one of those guys on the phone. Eric Clapton, really? And then just say, would you be interested in playing on my album? And every single one of them said yes. Everyone showed up and did an amazing job. So there you have it. I'm very blessed, very happy, and very grateful.